Good morning. This is September 5th, 2021. I'm Vincent Walker, Superintendent of Emanuel AME Sunday School, where Reverend John L. Dees Jr. is our pastor. Today, we're going to do one of a little small two-part series. Going to do this week and next week, a little bit off of the given Sunday school lesson. Going to do a little two-part series. Today, we're going to come from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. And that's a very familiar passage of scripture. A lot of people quote it. This is actually where it comes from. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. It reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understandings. Lean not on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord. So the first part of the series, the subject, the title will be Faith Over Understanding. We hear a lot of faith over fear, but I want to hone in on faith over understanding. Faith over understanding. Let's talk about that. So when we look at understanding, we look at when we go through difficult things in our life, especially to the believer, it's very difficult when you're doing everything right and you start to go through something and bad things start to happen. But we must know and we must understand, we must trust God that he has a plan for our life. We must trust God and know that he's in charge of everything that is going on in our life. Nothing has happened that he has not already orchestrated, or anything that has happened that the devil meant for evil, God can turn it into good. So faith over understanding. Too often we want to know every single step that God is making in our life. We want to know the future. We want to know how to navigate things. We want to know it before it happened. We must lean on God and not our own understanding. If God goes and tells you to do something, you do it. It doesn't matter how you're going to get there. The fact of the matter is, God told you to do it. He told you to go there. So you go. You follow him. You don't need to know, well, God, do I need to do this? Do I need to? No, God said, go do this. And he will direct you. Trust in him. He'll direct your path. We want to understand everything. We want to understand everything. Everything. We want to know why. Well, you said you trust God. It's no different than if you have children. They want to know every single thing, and you just say, come do it. Do this, do that. I know what's best for you. When we were kids, we couldn't understand why our parents were like, why? But it kept us out of trouble, didn't it? It kept us out of a lot of things. It kept us safe. It helped us to be the men and the women that we are today. With God, just simply trust him. With all that is going on in the world right now, especially mainly COVID-19, this pandemic that has been ravaging us for the last year and a half, but better for almost 2 years. Everybody wants to just know why. Just trust God. Just trust God. Stop trying to understand it. Trust God. Trust him and be with him. Know that just know in your heart that God has your back. When he tells you to do it, do it. In life, when you're going through things, have faith and trust in God. Because he is the one that sits on high and looks down low. He is the one that knows every single part of you. He knows you better than you know yourself. It's amazing when you were kids And growing up, or even an adult life, when you find someone that maybe a mentor or someone that's watching out for you, they see potentials in you that sometimes you don't quite see in yourself. They see that, they understand that when you were growing up, when you were playing sports, or when you were in school, academics, teachers, coaches, principals, they saw something in you. They are oftentimes, I know you can do better than this, but you just did not understand it. You didn't know what they saw in you. God has a better understanding of that than them. God has that knowledge of every single one of his children. He knows us. He knows what's best for us. God knows every strand of hair that's in this beard of mine. He knows what's best for us. We won't be able to figure it out. We won't be able to figure it out. But if we trust him, we will end up on top. Now, I'm not saying that we don't know or we will never know how to operate as a Christian. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just a simple, what I'm saying is the fact that we want to know every single part of God's plan for our life. Now, God is going to direct us, okay? He's going to get us to the finish line. He's going to get us there. We just have to trust him when we're tired. We have to trust him when we just got your car, when you just got your air conditioning unit fixed in your house, and then you have an issue with your car. You got to trust him. You got to trust him when you're doing every single thing right, when you're tithing, when you're praying, when you're reading your scripture, when you're communing with your church family, when you're doing Bible study, when you're doing Sunday school, and things happen in your life. You got to trust him. You got to trust him. Because our understanding, the brains that are in our head, they're not capable of dissecting God's plan. They're not. There's a few things that we can we can grasp, but these right here, they're not capable. They weren't designed for that. God knows the plan. Trust him. Have a blessed day, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you next week.